What's up, YouTube? Alright, let's get started. We're gonna start playing. 3, 2. No way! Everyone at the time thought the Boxer Rebellion was going all crazy because of the fall of the Qing Dynasty. Oh, what is he saying? I would love to. Can we translate this? Translate. The religious origin is that cults sacrifice babies to share food, and the branches that came out of cults also retain the essence of cults. You can see in Christianity, the sacrament, the wine. They used to eat children directly, but when they arrived in colonies, they didn't treat people as human beings at all. Animal nature came out again. Chinese later discovered kids' graveyard inside the churchyard in Shanghai. Whoa! Holy F! Oh my gosh! They had no guns, but they still stood up and fought. Yeah, real heroes. The Boxers tried to warn us. Cause I remember like that was one of the starts of like how the whole opium war, because yeah, like China gave Portuguese permission to set up in Macau and whatnot, but apparently like the Macau people were like doing crazy stuff. Um, I don't know, stuff was mentioned. I don't really know what to call of it. I mean, I'm sure they were doing some wild stuff, but and I remember yeah, something about eating kids and kidnapping people, and it all ties together. Oh my gosh. I'm still tripping over this. It's crazy. Oh my gosh.
I just saw a video that blew my mind. I got this off the dark web years ago. Disposal report. There's names, the date of birth, when they were disposed of, inmate numbers. But then I remembered something. There are doctors in here
Disposal dates?
that these are people that were missing. And look at this. Detention Center, Camp Kohler, Camp Lawrence. And then back here, there's Adrenochrome doctors. Look at that. Warden, senior warden of leading warden assigned to CYM. The caring group. Caring is youth. Youth is money. Money is freedom. Yeah. I got this years ago off the dark web. There's so many doctors that are involved. I just saw a video that...
Whoa. Oh my gosh. my gosh. How did you find this on the dark web? And the dates are kind of recent, like 2019. Oh, man. Oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh. This stresses me out. And like, people are like losing their jobs over this too. Just talking about it. Oh my god. Moriarty. I know a friend from Moriarty. That's so crazy. Yo. Yeah, it's a tunnel entrance. Wow. Yeah, New Mexico is like the most remote part of the country. That's why they did the nuclear tests over there.
We sat down and listened to Addison Rae's album. After reading those Azealia Banks tweets on her album, I said I had to just sit down and listen to it for myself. And immediately, I'm going to rate it it's a solid 7. I'm going to give it a solid 7, really. She has potential, but it just doesn't seem authentic, you know? It was one song called New York. I really like New York, actually. Like, I really liked it. And especially the second part of the song, like, it gave a real, like, EDM tech commercial type vibe. I really like that. And I would play that in the gym. But then you kind of delve into the songs like Fame is a Gun. And what's that other song? Diet Pepsi. And it's just, there's this theme of, like, innocence and like, childlike relations to it. And it's just kind of weird, you know? And I can see exactly what Azealia Banks said when she said there's, like, pedophilic undertones to the album, you know? Because in these songs, she mentions her tone of innocence.
I provoke you with my tone of innocence. Don't ask too many questions.
And her innocence in the back seat. And mind y'all, Addison Rae is like,
Why does it turn people on to like soil innocence or whatever? Like, no, I would want a mature lady or something. What is?
in her 20s, like mid-20s, I think. And it's just weird because it's like, girl, what innocence are you talking about?
You're
a grown-ass woman.
25.
Then it's like when you pair that, because you know me, I'm real thorough. I paired this with her live performances on her tour and stuff like that, and it's just something about it is just kind of unsettling, you know, because she's in these little ass tight ass clothes, singing about how her innocence is being taken in the back seat, and then it clicked. I'm like, oh, maybe she is gonna get it because the pedophiles in the industry do like shit like that.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of took me back to Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And whether Ariana Grande knows her role in that or not, it's like they had this little ass girl, this little ass petite woman singing all these sexual ass lyrics in these tight ass clothes and shit, just like Addison Rae. And even though Ariana Grande is an adult, it can still easily be interpreted as a little ass girl because Ariana Grande is like, what, 5'0", skinny as shit. And they used to have them in tight ass clothes, big ass heels, basically just symbolism of the adultification of little girls, you know? And so I was like, oh, Addison Rae, she really is about to blow up because that's how you get in the industry. Tyla is in the pledging stages right now. She's about to blow up too because whether she knows it or not, she's pledging to the industry, showing the industry that she will do what it takes to be big. And then a part of me, like, I can't even blame Tyla because Tyla, she knows, like, she doesn't know what she's really doing because she's from a whole different area, a whole different culture, trying to mainstream and market herself into the American audience. And she don't know the real fucked up shit that you gotta do in order to do it. And so to her, she thinks she's just putting one flower in her eye and dancing in these skimpy ass clothes as a little ass girl. She thinks she's doing that as a way of owning her sexuality, but it's just like, girl, you're just appealing to all the other pedophiles who put you in the forefront to sell your music and to have a successful career, you know? It's just weird because that Azealia Banks tweet really did open me up to the pedophilic undertones of the music industry. And then the Addison Rae album, it just further confirmed what she said. It's just like, wow, like, this industry is really fucking sick.
Yeah, I remember like Ariana coming out and her songs are like weird and it's like overly smexual and all that. Oh my goodness. Now I guess Addison's the next. She's next. Because I was gonna say this song is catchy.
Hey, Pizza Hut. I happen to be scrolling on Facebook. And you know what I saw while I was on Facebook? I saw an ad. Oh my gosh, I was so excited because I was like, dang, that looks good. But then as I was watching, I noticed something that you put in your video. Let me just show the audience what you decided to put in the midst of all this stuff with Jeffrey Epstein. A slice for Jeff +1. Pizza Hut. What in the... I hope that you can give an explanation to everybody why you thought that would be a good thing to put in your ad for your pizza, knowing that these sick motherfuckers are using the word pizza,
Yeah, that's just like so bold. Oh my gosh.
about children. Anyways, have a great fucking day. And I will never eat at Pizza Hut again.
Never. Never.
Hey, Pizza Hut.
So I'm going through the Epstein files and look what I find on Black History Month. So this is the document number if you want to go and look it up yourself. So first off, before I even get into it, this is the subject: lightning bolt for Israel, no sunshine for BDS, pro-Israel outreach to blacks. What do you mean by that? And who is sending this? So is JNS News, the editor-in-chief of JNS News is sending this. And what is JNS News? They're basically a Jewish news syndicate. Okay, for all that Jewish news. Who's the editor? Jonathan S. Tobin. So that's the editor of it's published by Russell Pergament and Joshua Katzen, but the editor is Jonathan S. Tobin. So if you go, because what I did is I went to the Epstein list and searched up Jonathan S. Tobin. He's the one that's sending all of these JNS articles to Epstein. For what? I don't know. But when we go back to this one, the No Sunshine for BDS, and this is the first article there. There unfortunately is no hyperlink, so I can't go and look at the article. But this one here is that Florida passed a bill saying that any companies that boycott against Israel will be, and pause to read, will basically be scrutinized against if they boycott against Israel. So that's weird. And that's in Florida. So that's the first article. Then we scroll down. This is next article, a lightning bolt of German support for Israel. And here is what caught my attention. Or when because first how I found all of this out is I just put Israel in the Epstein files. And this is one of the articles that popped up. So, outreach to the Black community becoming a staple in pro-Israel advocacy. Black History Month is marked for each February, but reaching out to African American community has become a year-round endeavor. So they're reaching out to us year-round for pro-Israel interfaith-minded organizations. Such efforts to serve combat anti-Israel groups, aggressive courtship of minority communities to support the pro-Palestinian narrative. So basically they're saying the supporters of the BDS are given a one-sided view of Israel, right? And if you don't know what BDS is, the first article that was talking about BDS is boycott, divestment, and sanctions is a Palestinian-led freedom movement, or movement for freedom, justice, and equality. So that's what BDS is. Okay. So yeah, basically in this one, they're saying that they reach out to the Black community, and people who are in support of Palestine are only given a one-sided view of Israel. What's the one-sided view? But yeah, you could pause to read that a little bit more. But down here, Christian United for Israel, basically they're saying that Black Christians tend to be pro-Israel, if only in a biblical and spiritual sense. In-depth knowledge about modern-day Israel or Middle East politics is not common in the Black church.
Yeah.
So basically saying,
just like in the United States in general. I mean, but I think a lot has changed since.
Saying that we're not educated enough, and the Black church is not educated enough to know what's going on in the Middle East. They don't know. They don't care about politics. So they're using your spirituality, energy harvesting, so you can support Israel. That's very fucking interesting. Especially finding this during Black History Month, and especially knowing that this article was sent in 2016, but from then to now, how much has Israel influenced or tried to get their hands in the Black community to influence negatively to us, you know? This is making my heart beat so fast because I'm upset. And then going back to the files and everything, if you search Jonathan S. Tobin, these are the other articles that he sent. And of course, it blocks out who he sent it to. We know who you sent it to, G Vacations. These are the other articles. Sometimes they block out JNS News, but we know that's Jonathan S. Tobin. And when I was looking for the Christian United for Israel, I found the International Fellowship of Christian and Jews. And I also looked that up in the Epstein files. And this article popped up. Yeah. So, I don't know. This is the article that popped up. This is the file number for that article when I searched the International Fellowship of Christian and Jews. But yeah, sorry this video is long. I was researching on, found Reddit about the Christian and Jew organization. And it says here that they claim to rescue Jews from poverty and persecution around the world. Shut up. Like they're being discriminated. But yeah, that's basically what this company is. And this company is also in the files as well. Interesting. And I was doing some more digging. This company is owned by, is like the president. She's the CEO, Yael Epstein. I couldn't find her in the Epstein files, but I searched the last name and there was other Epsteins that popped up. So I don't, and these are the articles of the Epsteins that popped up. Here's one of them. This was this, and I was just having a hard time understanding what this is. Money as you grow, book club, blah blah blah. But then money concepts, and then this is another one from the Epstein when I researched them, and then this is another one that's pretty redacted. Yeah. And who knows, Leon Black Family Foundation. I don't know. So all of that just from this article talking about why they outreach to the Black church. All that to say, that's another reason why we shouldn't be praying to their God. It's all energy harvesting.
Yeah, Christian church, I mean, I'm not trying to knock anyone's faith or nothing like that. I believe everyone should practice however their spirituality, whatever, but the Christian church has been, commodified, or, it's just a business, and they use it to, disseminate political ideology, narratives. Oh, man.
So you go to the FBI's fucking page, right? You search in here, no images produced, right? All these fucking PDFs pop up. Fuck, which one was I on? 121. Here it is, this one right here, right? Open that on a new link. First it shows you this. Sorry, I'm so highly distracted right now, right? Change that PDF into an MP4. Boom, you got a fucking video. The fuck are the cameras such shitty quality in prisons when we have access to such high technology and high quality cameras? Tell me this. Tell me why it's fucking glitched out right here. You can't see his face. Tell me that's not him. Why is he in civilian clothes? Why does he have a suitcase? Why does he have a suitcase? This is not how you put someone on suicide watch, if you ask me. You go to the FBI's fucking page, right? You search in here, no images produced.
He has a suitcase? Walmart cameras can literally read your text. I refuse to believe these are the only cameras. Oh my goodness.
So this email to Epstein we've all been thinking is written by a man. It's actually written by a young woman. It says, "Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty." We've all been thinking this was written by a man because of the redaction, but it was written by Susan Hamlin, pictured below, just discovered by Representative Paulina Luna. She has been unredacting redacted files. So I did a little digging. This is Susan Hamlin, and look, Epstein's last known girlfriend, Karina Shuliak. Susan Hamlin took a plea deal and was given a victim status under the previous DOJ. Possible human rights violations were committed by Susan. In fact, Susan Hamlin went after a newspaper and made them apologize for alleging that she had groomed and procured a 16-year-old to be essayed by Epstein. You can read this whole document. These women are all still around today, and we can allege that they were in the ring with Epstein. And the alleged honeypot, Selana P. I did a whole video on her. Selana P, aka Svetlana Pozianova, pictured here with Joshua Fink, the son of BlackRock's CEO Larry Fink. In my deep dive on Selana P, I also discovered that she wrote an email that sounded like a man was writing it. But when I found an unredacted version of the same email, it was her name, Selana P, without the redaction. It said the Snow White was effed twice as soon as she put on
Remember the Snow White email?
her costume. In fact, here is another email that looks like it was written by a man, but it was actually written by one of these girls. It's by a Nadia, and it's the one that includes God and Jesus. It says, blank said that she felt God's presence was next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and he helped save her life. Whoops, I've been thinking a guy wrote this, but it was a woman named Nadia. And then Epstein says, yes, you should dress up as him when you see her. And then Nadia says, oh, of course, the oh Jesus, I'm coming trick. The Representative Paulina Luna called out this email too. She says the email was sent by a woman named Nadia, the same Nadia that was listed as a co-conspirator in the New York case. She was then given a plea deal and victim status. There's a big difference between minors that were victimized versus ones that became adults and then chose to do terrible things. Just like Susan Hamlin, Representative Anna Paulina says that we should look into these charges. Possible human rights were committed by Susan, and she says that based on a lot of other files that she saw Susan's name on, these women don't get to hide behind redactions. There were so many victims, none of which did what Susan did.
I need to look up Paulina Luna, and yeah, I heard Susan Hamlin's name, but that's crazy.
This needs to be reopened. So this email to Epstein, we've all been thinking,
You left me behind, 'cause there were things you were trying to find. You came back.
Floridians, this one is for you. I actually just got done reading this and filmed a video, but I didn't make it all the way through. I wasn't even close, actually, so I erased the whole thing. I did notice a lot of duplicate, kind of redundant statements in here, so if you want to look at the file, I'll give you the file number yourself, but since I've read this whole thing already, I am going to skip some of the parts that were kind of a little bit duplicated. First things first, victim name completely unredacted. Christine C. At the end, after I unroll my rolly printer paper, her last name signs it off, so sweet. All right, let's get started. Good morning. I wrote to you previously regarding Epstein. I really need help outside of Florida because these agents that have been terrorizing me are corrupt and I believe they are psychopaths. I'm living in a nightmare and they have threatened my life. I'm a target of the very people who raped me. In 2021, I ended up in a jail and didn't know why I was there. The Sheriff Grady Judd entrapment along with the FBI. Sheriff Grady Judd was at the church raping me as a child, and the CIA and FBI knew and did nothing to help me or my younger sister. The FBI knew I was raped by
Grady Judge?
Epstein when I was between the ages of 10 and 12 years old, and they knew that I was gang raped by Steve Bannon and 9 other men while strapped down to a table at Epstein's. These men targeted me because they made reference of me being strapped down and raped as a child. This was punishment for telling I saw James Bulger and Kevin Weeks kidnap a child. This witch hunt started when I was 5 years old. I couldn't remember, but I remember now that I told my teacher I was being molested, and I told her I witnessed my parents doing a kidnapping. They weren't my parents. My teacher, Janice Farnham of Prattville School, tried to get me help, but help never came. James Bulger's connections were obviously powerful. In 2021, I told Robert A. Murray that I remember everything. that when I remember everything, they will kill me. I had no idea what he was talking about because I couldn't remember. This appears to be true. He also said when I remember, I shouldn't report anything to the authorities because they will just say I'm a psychopath. Well, I'm not going to be silenced and I will tell the truth. I am a target of Donald Trump. In 2014, a CIA agent tricked me into going to Epstein's in Palm Beach. He said I was going to a holiday party. I got there with him, was handed a drink, and I was drugged once again. He took me to a room, said, wait here, I'll be right back, and immediately the door was shut and locked by Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeff Epstein. Every time I tried to get out, they would back me into the room, and it was Ghislaine Maxwell who was really doing this. I was locked in a room to be a sex slave. At one point, the butler knocked on the door, and standing there was Donald Trump. I wasn't his cup of tea. He said to a man, make sure she drinks some of that so she forgets I was here. Then said to the butler, only open the door that you think I will like. This is the part where it gets a little redundant, so I'm going to skip over a few things, but again, it's kind of just saying the same thing. In 98, Robert Murray was working with the FBI and told me I was a victim. I didn't understand, and he told me I don't remember. He was working with the same short FBI agent that took me from my bed several times and drugged me. In 98, I was asked if I saw James Bulger kidnap a child when I was about 14, and I said yes, I did. Well, days later, I was set up and put on a government list by a woman at Massachusetts General Hospital that was a psychiatrist. Basically, she said she was called into a meeting by her kidnappers of sorts. I walked into a witch hunt of false allegations. These allegations were made by two women who are Winter Hill gang members. At the end of the meeting, the psychiatrist said, you shouldn't be talking about the kidnapping you witnessed to endanger your family. Then two men came in and injected me with drugs, and they put a wire in my wrist. I couldn't remember they did this to me until recently. They've been listening to my entire life. In 1998, Robert Murray, my boss at Bank of Boston, said there were psychopaths in the CIA and FBI playing a game. He said Donald Trump was involved and was in this pedophile ring. He mentioned Justice Clarence Thomas, who I didn't know. He also told me I was sold to the CIA by the man who pretended to be my father, the man that raped me repeatedly and sex trafficked me. I didn't believe it, but I do now. In 2014, I was abducted by Kevin Weeks and another man. A woman I knew set me up and said she knew these men. I couldn't remember Kevin Weeks because I was drugged on a substance that erases your memory. I was raped and tortured. I was drugged and smashed in the head with a hammer. As the men smashed me in the head, the man who tortured me said, be careful, she's our computer. That man that was electrocuting me, as he was saying, you're not going to talk about the kidnapping you witnessed, right, Christine? Then he would electrocute me. Also, unredacted name. John Martorano was the man who raped me and took a picture of me naked and said, let's take a picture for Clarence Thomas. Justice Clarence Thomas raped me in a church in Massachusetts when I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Oh my god.
This was also in my CIA
That's what the email was referencing.
file because a few people have asked me if I remembered, but I couldn't remember much of my childhood because I was drugged so much. The short FBI agent has shot a GPS tag in my butt and leg. They put a pin in my knee. They put a wire in my neck. They put pins in my head. They put a pin in my back, and I'm not doing well. The woman agent who was married to the short agent said she would tell the doctors I did this to myself and nobody would believe me. I'm the victim of being raped several times and set up by Winter Hill gang members. Winter Hill gang members that are in the FBI and CIA. People have also faked their death to be in the CIA at the expense of terrorizing me. One man, Keith Shipley, invited me to lunch in 2011. I got in the vehicle and was handed a drink of water by a man in the front seat and it was laced again. These men were also Winter Hill gang members. I woke up tied to a chair and a man had a propane tank and was waving flames at me. He said I could live if Keith drank cyanide. It was all fake and Keith is alive. Another person that is alive and in the CIA is Virginia Giuffre. I remember the same FBI agent telling me that they had put her in the CIA because they would kill her. All this did was silence Virginia, and the people that wanted her dead should be held accountable, but instead the victims are silenced. In 2008, my boss said to me, the FBI is on the phone. Did you see James Bulger kidnap a child? I said, I did. That night, I was raped by Ron Desantis. I woke up naked on my floor, tied up and beaten while James Bulger stood there with a gun. Then Ron Desantis came in and raped me. He said, by the time I remember him raping me, I'll be locked up as a psychopath. Then a woman came in and faked sex with me, and that woman is Nancy Mace. James Bulger said he was going to put it on YouPorn. I couldn't remember this. This was my punishment for telling. I'm not a psychopath nor am I a predator. I'm a victim of many rapists, these FBI agents. I got sold to be raped and never asked for this life. These agents are into some sort of witchcraft, and in 1998, I told people in the FBI and CIA were playing a game with my life. I didn't believe it, but it's true. I couldn't remember any of this, but these CIA drugs are cruel. The short FBI agent took off his belt and told me to kneel down and whip myself for watching an Amazon Prime video that had gay men in it having a sexual encounter. The drug made me into a robot, and I did it while he and others laughed. Another time I was drugged, they had me stand in one spot with my arm in the air for hours, and I was just a zombie. I threw up after. I have the very psychopaths in the FBI investigating me when I am their victim, and it is so twisted. I'm attaching my chest x-ray with the device in my chest. I've never seen a cardiologist in my life. I have Medicare and you can check. I'm also including a picture of my legs from the agents torturing me. When I got my x-ray, I sent it to a pacemaker doctor and they weren't sure what it is. The FBI agent said they would call the doctor and tell them that I had a boob piercing and that's what the x-ray is. These agents told me no one will believe me and I hope it's not true. Also, I would like to know who the men were that raped me at Epstein's in New York. I was strapped down and couldn't move. These men said I was strapped down just like I was as a child when I was raped. This is just so unjust and traumatizing. I would like to know why these men are being covered up and why they weren't prosecuted. I was also gang raped when I was 14 or 15 years old. Punishment for saying that, the child kidnapping, I reported that as soon as I started to remember. Michael Franzese, and Sam Gravino, along with other Winter Hill gang members, are involved, and there was another little girl in there with me. There was a live audience. I woke up tied to a chair, a knife to my stomach, and then gang raped. I promised that little girl I would tell her family what happened to her. Somehow I think the short FBI agent has twisted the facts of this incident to cover for his fellow gang members. This is not justice, and because I couldn't remember, I would like to be able to hold my rapists and these agents accountable before they do kill me. I know who I am, and I'm a good person that didn't deserve any of this. I've become a target of high-powered government officials that are my very rapists. The theme of my life and punishment is for telling people and authorities I witnessed James Bulger and Kevin Weeks kidnap a child when I was younger. Thank you for reading this. I do believe the nutjob FBI agent will try to get this email deleted or tell you I'm a psychopath, and for once, please give me a voice as I fight for my life. Unredacted name.
Christina Constantino. Wow.
Flirty.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Miss Christina Borg Capella, thank you for the hard work you did. That butterfly throws me off on her profile.
Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble. All this information is new.
Isaac claimed that within Hollywood, a high society is involved in child trafficking.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Tom fucking Hanks, guys. Pedophile. Make no mistake, this is a cult. There is a widespread cult that is worldwide. And by the way, the proof is in the fucking pudding. If I'm lying, sue me. Sue me. Great, let's go to court. Let's have discovery.
As Kappy's following grew, he took measures to ensure his safety, one of which he alleged included a, quote, dead man's switch.
What does that do? It means they can't kill me, which is good, because I like to stay alive. A dead man switch is basically it's like if you die, then like stuff happens. Okay, like information goes out. They can try to kill me. You know, good luck with that.
Many expected Kappy to continue expanding upon his testimony. Instead, he uploaded one of his final videos.
My anger at these people, my anger consumed me. Did I lie about Seth Green? No, Seth Green's a pedophile. Am I afraid of something? Well, I should be, because bad things are coming my way.
3 days later, Kappy was found dead in what local authorities assert was a suicide. It's worth noting that Kappy was asked here if he currently felt suicidal.
I'm not suicidal.
Purportedly, Kappy jumped from that bridge and was hit by a truck. Soon after, a controversial video began making its rounds on the internet.
Yeah, I remember this on the internet. Yo.
Tom Hanks, folks.
Wow. Yeah, this is not new information. Well, I never saw that video. And I never saw the video of the bridge. I just heard like he jumped off a bridge or whatever. And they're watching everybody who's talking about this. And so that last lady, she dropped the... But I don't know if she's... I feel like the people that are talking about it so explicitly are protected or whatnot. I don't know.
Guys, the port workers are going on strike because they hear screaming children in the containers. They're going on strike because they hear screaming children in the containers at shipping ports. They're going on strike. Guys, the port workers are going on strike because they hear screaming children in the containers. They're going on strike because they...
When is this? Is this recent?
Usually cover some of the scariest stories, but what's happening with the Fontana shipping containers, if you're not following yet, you're gonna miss the truth as it unfolds. Yo, Fontana, California has been buzzing with disturbing reports. Strange shipping containers showing up, people claiming they hear screams and even whispers of a so-called vigilante shipping container movement. The question spreading online is simple. Fontana shipping containers, is it real? Locals say they've seen the containers move late at night, some positioned on private lots, others near industrial yards, but here's what made it go viral. Multiple residents reported hearing what they called screaming shipping containers near the tracks in South Fontana. One man said he called police, but by the time officers arrived, the containers were gone. The wildest twist, though, some locals claim a group calling themselves the Fontana Defender is tracking these containers and trying to document what's inside before they disappear. According to reporting from the San Bernardino Sun, Fontana has long been tied to warehouse expansion and major freight movement. With thousands of containers moving through daily, officials say it's easy for some to go unnoticed. The reality has only fueled theories. Between verified reports of trafficking along the I-10 corridor and eyewitness accounts of unmarked containers, residents say the city's...
Sorry. Let me just let it play.
Why are we not bursting through and opening up all of the shipping containers? You're telling me that for decades, workers have been saying that they hear children screaming and crying out of shipping containers, and we've just let it happen. Especially with everything that just came out. I don't care if I would be fired. I would be opening up those damn shipping containers.
Yeah. So is this strike recent?
Prince Andrew has been arrested and Bill Gates is next. And he's terrified, and for valid reasons. See, Bill has been up to so many different things, so many human rights violations. And now the world itself is finally beginning to turn on him. The world at large, everyone else globally, are rejecting his media. They don't want him to speak at engagements. And Bill knows, just like I know and you know, especially after this administration is completely out of the way, he's getting
I'm sorry.
Cuffed. Duck just got served with some papers too. And a lot of people don't want you to know this, but guess what? It doesn't matter. The world sees it. Prince Andrew just got arrested. The former president of South Korea has just gotten life in prison. You should understand, we are currently living in the fall of Rome. Common misconception that a lot of people get is that there was fire and brimstone and everything was just insane. No, no, no. When Rome fell, it felt like business as usual for many until it didn't. And boy, when...
Why is my internet so bad right now?
Epstein files! Stop hypersexualizing little girls on the internet! Today's testimony, Mr.
Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook founder, for the first time testifying in front of a jury. It's been dubbed the tech addiction trial, and Meta's Instagram and Google's YouTube are both in the spotlight. Zuckerberg arrived at the LA court today with a steely resolve. He's faced congressional grillings before, but not in court. The stakes here are high. A legal ruling could set a precedent for thousands of other cases.
Yeah, why is this not showing in our media? Oh my gosh. All today. I was hoping to find some videos about Lex Wexner's deposition, but I guess I feel like there's so much suppression of information that's going on. But anyways, thanks for watching. Man, I don't even know. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is like never been done. This has never happened before. I know we keep saying that, but yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace and love. Hope everyone has a great day.